Many people decided to wait कि देख लेते हैं मैम क्या करती है फिर decide करते हैं. So can I just take some more questions from people? Ma'am, I have, in the economic survey, the chief economic advisor spoke about relooking investments from China. Now, given that the Prime Minister went there was a good meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping, how do you as Finance Minister view the contentious issue of investment coming from China, the sectors where you currently have guardrails, and given what we're seeing with the United States and the slight thaw that we're seeing with Beijing, how do you see this play out in the weeks and months to come?
Well, I think it's important. We will have to be negotiating for greater market access to Indian products in China, if at all there is a trade talk. About investment, the PN3 guides us, the press note 3 guides us. It's also true that we very clearly said investments from neighborhood we're not entertaining, particularly during and immediately after the Galvan crisis. But the PN3 has also been made a bit flexible as regards domain experts, technicians who will have to come to complete projects which are already in the ground. Now, if projects are already on the ground and they're not getting completed because experts were not available, we had to that extent, allow experts to come. As regards investments, which is your specific question, are we flexing it? Are we making it easier? I think the concerned departments will have to talk about it and then come back to take a call on it.
Are you less wary than you were earlier, just philosophically and ideologically?
No, I would continue to be cautious.
Interesting. Vishnu Shom has a question for you. Vishnu.
That's not to deter any decision in favor.
No,
caution is a word.
Of course, absolutely.
Ma'am, I had the opportunity of meeting the Chinese ambassador yesterday. He spoke to a few journalists. And he's called for a fair, equitable business environment in India. We're in the midst of a reset in ties with China. I don't know if the word reset is accurate or not. Some suggest that it may be. Do you believe that, do you welcome greater Chinese involvement in our economy? And what about rare earths, which is found mention? Is that not critical for us to achieve our economic goals?
No, it is absolutely critical to achieve our economic goals, no doubt. And I would want to have trading relationship with every country, investments to be attracted from any country, no doubt. But I'm just getting into the detail. If you ask me one step more, get into the granular detail. These are my thoughts. I need greater market access as much as opening up my market for you, for anybody, for any country. In a way, isn't that the question of what negotiations with the US, with the EU is all about? Give us greater access and trade surplus. There are many countries which have trade surplus as against vis-a-vis United States. So we also have a huge deficit against China. So when you put India's interest on the top, there are aspects which have to be said and negotiated on. That's the point I like to highlight.
Okay, I said we'll give some of the leading voices of India Inc. an opportunity. I also want to move back and give some folks sitting towards the seats at the back the opportunity. Go on, please.
Firstly, ma'am, I'll take the opportunity to join all the senior dignitaries in thanking you for bringing us an early Diwali gift this year in the form of 2.0. The question is very quick. I'm personally a startup founder. I have benefited from the startup benefits that the government has prevailed personally because I have created a product company out of AI. But my question is very short and simple. Today's youth in India is now aspiring to make the tech giants now come out of India. And whilst there's a lot that we've already received in the 2.0, compliance is something where it's slightly on the heavier side. And with total number of startups that are coming up, and startup founders are always working on the thinnest of margins. Is there something that we can expect in the coming times where towards the compliances and services side also the regimes can get slightly more compressed so that we can probably think of not using foreign AIs and creating our own chat GPTs in India itself in the coming times to come?
When you say compliance, I don't know what you're referring to because as many compliance-related issues that may pertain to me central government, we are actively engaged with the stakeholders to say, tell us where you want to remove something, we are willing. Hasn't the last 2 terms of Prime Minister Modi seen so many archaic acts being removed, compliance conditions being removed? We are always on course for it. But the problem sometimes is, I'm not shifting the blame, startups are located somewhere in some state, because union government doesn't have its territory except for union territories which are known. But if the compliance pertains to a state regulation or a state law, that is for the respective states to deal with. That burdens you equally, I accept that point. But even states will have to take up this thing about making it easy for startups. We are still ready. As many as the issues that you will draw to my attention, I will work on them. That will continue.